Green Man! 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 Holy YouTube video, Green Man!
Alright, it's time. I'm upstairs in my upstairs room now where most of my old boxes are stored, and yeah, the trouble is it's a right mess up here. There you can see it's kind of turned into a storeroom more than anything. So I've got some 3 boxes up there. 1, 2, 3. Past the drying clothes, past the sofa that's been stored here. You see I've got some boxes behind there. 1, 2, I'm not even sure how many boxes are there, but quite a few boxes are there. And over in the corner I have to actually climb over this. I want to try and get one of them short boxes out because I'm a bit pressed for time today because I've got to go to the dentist. Yeah, or maybe I'll just do it over 2 days. Oh, whatever one I get down, it's going to be a right pain to manage to be able to do. Let's try that top box there if I can get to it. Okay, so here it is. Here's the short box I'm going to be going through, and I didn't realise how short these short boxes were. Because I got what I thought were short boxes in my downstairs room. I did a couple of videos already, and they're longer and wider. So yeah, and I had a lot more in those. I was getting like 300 or something, 300 plus in those ones. These, I doubt if it's got more than 200 in it. But yeah, that's cool because I've got a dentist appointment anyway, so I've got to rush off for that. So let's just go through and see what's in there. Aha! Stars and Stripes. Now this one, I know I've got issues missing of this. Let's just get that lined up properly. Yeah, I need to work out what issues are missing this because I've been after them for a long while, but like kind of haphazardly and not really sort of doing it properly. But I need to work out what ones are missing so I can finally fill this run, because this is a really cool comic actually. I think it's the first series that stars Stargirl, and yeah, it's a really cool run actually. But I just have a couple of issues missing. Let's see what I've got missing, and I can make sure I can try and pick them up this time. I'm glad I've got Zero, because Zero apparently is going for a lot of money. I've seen quite big money on the Zero issue, and I think it's quite hard to get hold of. But anyway, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unless I picked them all up and I didn't realise. Maybe I've picked them all up now. I'm not too sure. 6. I've got no covers on these ones. I need to put some covers on these. 7. These from 2000, by the way. Oh no, there's definitely some missing. 8. Right, so I'm missing 9 and 10. So then I've got 11. 12. Yeah, it's a good fun little comic, this one. I enjoyed this one a lot. This is why I want to get the... So it looks like there's 2 missing. Let's have a look. 14 is the last one that I've got here. Let me just check if that is the last issue. Yeah. So yeah, I only got 2 missing. That's not too bad. 9 and 10. I need to pick those up next time I do a shop. Cool. So Stars and Stripes. Real fun little book, this one. Alright, next up, we've got a little run of Checkmate. Alright, this is the run from 1988. So Checkmate number 1. Do have the later run as well somewhere. It might even be in this box. Number 2. Number 3. I think this is just in the days when it was just the organisation, the Checkmate organisation, before it was joined by a lot of heroes. I think in the later one, I think Fire is a member of Checkmate from the old Justice League Europe, I think she was in, and the Global Guardians. And that lady who was Batman's bodyguard for a while, can't remember what her name is now for the life of me, but she was his bodyguard and love interest for a little while. Sasha Bordeaux, is it her name? But she ended up being like a lead in Checkmate as well. Let's just put that there so I know where it is. Right. Unfortunately, this one didn't have any blinking bag on it. It's caught some sellotape from the bloody comic that was behind it. From this little bag here, it's caught sellotape on the cover, and it's got a little blinking graze on the cover there. That's a shame. I say I don't suppose it's worth any money anyway, so it makes no difference. It's just a shame to have a little nick on a book, though, isn't it? I don't know if I ever put sellotape on myself, but you always buy stuff and it's got sellotape on it, and sometimes this sellotape deteriorates terribly, and yeah, it messes around with your comic books. But I mean, I certainly don't intend to put any blinking sellotape on any of my blinking books, on any of my covers on the future. what are these plastic things called? Sleeves? Covers? I'm never too sure. No, because I said the cover before, but a cover is obviously the cover of the book. When people say covers, they mean the cover of the comic. So I'm not plastic bag. I'm not so sure what the terminology is for those plastic things. Bags, you know, just bags. Yeah, because when they say bag and ball, didn't they? Right. So yeah. So this is to say, just in the day when the Checkmate was like a bunch of agents. I don't think the focus was on any one particular agent. I certainly say it's been a long time since I've read it anyway. I don't think I collected it back in 88, 89. I think I picked these up later on. But don't quote me on this because I am not the memory man. I am the grey man. And the grey stands for the lack of clarity. That's what the greyness is. It's not black and white. It's a confusing grey miasma, which I call my memory. Right, the Janus Directive. Pretty sure that, it's definitely crossed over with other books. Thinking Teen Titans for some reason. I don't know what. No, probably not. There's Major Force. Wow, he's been around for a long old time then. Because I remember I think he first came to light in Captain Atom's run. There was a Captain Atom title. I think his first ongoing title when he first came over to DC from Charlton. I'm pretty sure that's where Captain Atom, where Major Force first came to light. And of course he's a complete evil bastard who killed Kyle Rayner's girlfriend in the very first, early appearances in that book, Green Lantern's book. I remember her. She rings a bell. Can't remember what her name was though. She was something like the Sergeant or something like that. I think she kind of had like amnesia. She never knew what her name was, but she was a kick-ass lady actually. I wish was she still going actually? It'd be cool if she got another run in a book somewhere. I can't remember what her name was. Right. And then we got Peacemaker, who of course got killed. Taking on Eclipso in Parador, but I think the character name has been reused in Blue Beetle, the Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle, the third Blue Beetle. He's got a character called Peacemaker who's shown up a few times, but slightly different, definitely a different costume, and I think different origin as well. But yeah, he originally came over from Charlton, the same as Blue Beetle and Captain Atom did. Right, let's move these over. Here he is. Large as life on the cover. Buy or die! Yeah, Peacemaker. He was the... when they did Watchmen, I think he was the one that became... Is he the one that became the comedian? Because Alan Moore wanted to use all the old Charlton properties for the Watchmen originally, didn't he? And he changed over... So because he wasn't allowed to use them, he had to create new characters, and he based them very much on the Charlton characters. So Captain Atom became Dr. Manhattan, Blue Beetle became Night Owl, I believe, because he even had the Blue Beetle 1 and the Blue Beetle 2, which was, a Night Owl 1 and a Night Owl 2. A legacy hero, same as the Blue Beetle was. Who else was there in that? I'm not too sure. I imagine... Jupiter, Sally Jupiter was it? I imagine she was Nightshade. Was Nightshade not a Charlton character who came over at the same time? Yeah, I could be mistaken. I think this is the full run. 30, 31. 32. That's it, no more Mr. Nice Guy. 33 Endgame. There you go. That's that little run of Checkmate. So another obscure character I practically forgot. Chase. A woman called Chase. I kind of think she was she tracks the world's most dangerous prey. So was she like a detective hunting down supervillains? I can't remember if she had powers or not. Mission Suicide. Has she joined the Suicide Squad there? Think so, because they've all got neck things on, which is the explosives that be around their neck, wouldn't it? So maybe she's liaised with the Suicide Squad for this one. Red Scare. But these are from '98. No wonder I don't remember them. I don't know if she ever moved on to any other comics or not. Actually, there was a detective once who had like a bit of a psychic power. She could like see stuff. from crime scenes. I'm wondering if this is her. I think this might be the memory that I'm vaguely grasping at. Right, it's not a very long run. Number 7, unless one of the other bags in there has got them in as well, but I think it's quite just a short run actually. Number 8, Shadow in the Bat Part 2. Then we have number 9. And then we've got a massive jump to 1 million. I seem to be missing 999,909. Oh, I can't even do the maths. A lot. I seem to be missing a lot there. I've really got a lot of to catch up on this run. It goes straight from 9 to 1 million. I mean, bloody hell. What was I playing at? Okay, another cool character, Manhunter. Now, Manhunter, and these are from 88. He said there's been so many people called Manhunter. It's it's just off the charts. I mean, I bet there's about 4 people called Manhunter. I can't even remember any of their names off the top of my head. Paul, no. Say Paul Raymond, but I think he was a pornographer. I don't think it was Paul Raymond. I think he used to have sex clubs in London, so I'm pretty sure it's not Paul Raymond. But yeah, Mark, someone called. There's definitely a Mark somebody or other at one point. But yeah, I'm not even sure which one of these is this Manhunter. But I say there's been a heck of a lot of Manhunters over the years. There's a Golden Age one. I think I had a dog that turned out to be a robot dog in the Millennium crossover. I think this has come up after Millennium. Remember Millennium, where the Manhunters was shown to be like a galactic force of robots that predated the Green Lantern Corps. So Green Lantern Corps. Anyway, and I think this title came up after that. Mark somebody or other. Yeah, I know. It's gone. I'm sure there's a guy, Manhunter called Paul, and a Manhunter called Mark. These are the names that are popping in my head, but the rest of the names, if indeed those are even slightly correct, are not coming into my head. Let's say these are from 89, so long time ago. I can't remember if I bought these as they came out or whether I picked these up later. I had a massive eBay go at one point where I was picking up titles that I'd never picked up before, but rather than being sensible or clever and buying old Silver Age goodness, I was picking up sort of stuff from are these bronzes, coppers, modern age. I can't believe 89 could be called modern age, but yeah. Anyway, there's a classic Catman there. Looks quite a cool costume Catman's got, orange and yellow, my 2 favourite colours actually. It should be black, shouldn't it? One of my favourite colours, being a metalhead. But no, I've always liked orange and yellow, don't ask me why. Alright, Janus Directive, we saw that in the Checkmate one. So this is one of the books that it crossed over with, obviously. Death Alley. This is written by Ostrander, who always writes good comics. Suicide Squad and the like. Spectre he did, didn't he, Ostrander? The obligatory team up with the Dark Knight Detective. If ever there is a book that needs a little bit of a boost, we'll bung a Batman in it to see if we can get people on board. Saints and Sinners, Part 6. More Saints and Sinners. It's bugging me now, the name of these Manhunters. I can't remember what names I said. I said Paul, didn't I? And Mark. I'll try and remember to put the details in the blog. So check out the blog. The link is down below. And I will try to remember to stick these guys' names in the blog. Saints and Sinners Part 4. Looks like he's some kind of abominable snowman he's dealing with there. 22. Very cool. I don't think Manhunter actually had any superpowers at all. He was just like an athlete and a skilled fighter. He had, I think, quite often he had a staff, didn't he, as a weapon. I'm not sure if it fired out blast or something like that. I think it possibly did. Anyway, 2 years this ran for. Finishing up here in April 90, issue 24, Manhunter No More. So whatever his name was, this is I dare say I think he's still going. I think he comes back now and again. I think there was a different Manhunter at one point after this. There's a female Manhunter who's been the most recent iteration of this character, isn't there? Who was a lawyer. She had quite a good run as well. I'm pretty sure I've shown off her book already, but in one of my previous videos. But anyway, that's Manhunter. Another short run character. I'm not sure if I've got the whole run. Aztec the Ultimate Man. This is an early Grant Morrison character, isn't it? I think he was quite partial to his Aztec. I believe that he put him in the Justice League of America at one point as well. I can't really recall what his power set were. There's Major Force again, though. He gets his ugly, mean old face in quite a lot of comics, doesn't he, Major Force? The Girl Who Was Deaf. Oh, it must be hard to be a villain when you've got no hearing. Yeah, excuse that stupid pun. Right, interesting costume Aztec's got. Bit of a weird shaped head. But yeah, I think it was some kind of technologically advanced costume. I can't remember if he actually had any inherent powers himself. So, long old time since I've read it. Right, a couple more Aztecs. Less than a year this one went for, unless I'm missing some books. Got 6, 7 here. Meet up with Batman in a vain effort to try and make his book more popular. Save it from the chop. But yeah, it failed. Basically, if you got a run of books and you see Batman turning up as a guest star, then you're just like, yeah, okay. They've got to the stage where they're desperate to try and keep the book running, so they bring Batman in. You see it in so many short runs. Batman makes an appearance. Can we get the sales to jump up? And no. And at number 10, I believe this is the last one, initiated into the JLA. So at least he never disappeared. He just says next ? Yeah, so he joined the JLA after this. That was the whole run of his book. I don't think he's been seen for a fair old while, old Aztec. Okay, Black Orchid by Neil Gaiman and Dave McKean. Black Orchid. I think there's quite good artistic kind of stuff going on in there, but I don't remember being particularly enthralled by the story. We've got 2 more parts here. 3 more parts. 3 parts. It's a 3-parter. There you go, Black Orchid. More Black Orchid. There you go, more Black Orchid. This is a Vertigo run from the early 90s, 93. Yeah, I did think I had some more Black Orchid, but I didn't necessarily know they was going to be in this box. Quite a few of them, actually. It's a fair old wedge of Black Orchids here. Some interesting covers. Very weird covers, but then that's the Vertigo title for you, isn't it? These covers are like, you could probably stare at these and like, well, wow, man, what's going on? There have been Black Orchid, I think she had pheromone powers. I can't remember. Could she entice people and make them desire her? Was she a bit like Poison Ivy in that respect? She can fly. I remember she had some flight powers. But yeah, I can't really actually recall what her power set was. But this was a kind of bit of a trippy run. This one, to be honest. Got the feeling it's got something to do with people trying to exploit the Amazon rainforest, and she's there. She stops them. I think that might be what this one is about. I say this is from 93, 94, so it's a long old time since I've read them. But yeah, again, I can't remember if I bought these all in as a job lot. I might have bought these all as a job lot. I don't remember collecting them monthly, but yeah, as I've mentioned at the beginning of this video, I am not the memory man, I am the grey man. I lurk in the shadows of memory. No, I'm just talking rubbish again, as always. Right, yeah, but cool covers anyway. Dick Foreman. Not a name that I know particularly well at all. Don't know if he went on to other work for DC or Marvel. And Rebecca Guay, but it looks like the artist. What's the inside art? The inside art's fairly untrippy. It's quite cool. $17. It's about 21 in this one by the looks of it. 18. A Twisted Season. Twisted Season, that one as well. I imagine this is just like the name of this story arc. Maybe it had a few different arcs in it. But I do kind of recall a Black Orchid story that does take place in the Amazon rainforest with people trying to exploit its resources, and she stops them basically. 21. I was mistaken. There's 22. 22 Black Orchid books there. 22. Okay, I don't know if you guys remember, I did a video showing some comics that my mate gave me, Vic Bub, from Gore Shriek. I had some of these in there, Dark Stars, and at the time I couldn't remember that I had them already. So I think I had the first 5 of these in the batch that he gave me, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I haven't got any Dark Stars, I don't think I collected these. But as I've been saying, I am the memory man, and I did collect them. Yeah, so I do seem to have a full set of these Dark Stars here, which means those are all doubles. And I can try and flog them to make space and to buy, you know, to invest in much needed new comic books. They're not really much needed, they're just wanted, they're just desired. You know, who actually needs comic books? They don't, you know, pay the bills for you, they don't provide you with oxygen or anything like that. But they do provide you obviously with entertainment and just the joy of owning them and looking at the covers and making videos about them. And yeah, I mean, I could just read through all my old comic books again, not have to buy any new ones. But yeah, I will though. I will buy some new ones. So if I can manage to flog off my doubles, that's going in the buy new books kitty. But I'm definitely going to be going for quality over quantity in future. Space is a premium, obviously. You probably saw at the beginning of the video how packed my blinking room is upstairs already. But yeah, but I do. I'll concentrate maybe on my birthday books and some key first appearances. I keep seeing characters and thinking, oh yeah, I really like that character. I wonder what their first appearance was, and going to try and check out when their first appearances were. But I'd like to own some of those books. I just got like a I don't know, mental thing. I just feel to myself, I couldn't spend hundreds of pounds on one comic. I don't know. It's just like I'd look at it and think that's ridiculous. How much for that comic? No way! But I don't know, maybe I just need to get over that. Maybe I need to buy my first £250 book and then from then on I'll be running. But first I've got to earn that 250 quid. I mean, there's some really cool characters I'd like to have first appearances by, but a lot of them are a lot older than you think as well. I looked at Martian Manhunter, because obviously everyone loves Martian Manhunter. He's the blinking linchpin for the for the Justice League of America. And, you know, he's just a really cool guy, old John Jones. And, he's very expensive. I also looked at the Elongated Man as well, Ralph Dibny. I looked at a little 4 set that I had of his books in the last video. And that got me thinking, oh, when was the first time Ralph Dibny appeared? And I can't remember how much his books were going for. But, yeah, they were not cheap either. Here's Donna Troy. Donna Troy joined the Dark Stars. Did she lose her powers for a time and become a Dark Star? I think this might be at the same time that her boyfriend Kyle Rayner was the Green Lantern. I mean, I think that was around the time that they were boyfriend and girlfriend anyway, before she died and then came back again. 0 Hour. Yeah, it ran quite a while, Dark Stars. I'm not sure if they're doing anything in the current continuity. Starfire in one of her less revealing outfits. I think that actually covered the whole of her body, that one. But yeah. Now there is a crossover. I think it might be called Trinity. I'm not too sure though. I'll probably see it in a minute if I haven't actually gone past it already. The Dark Stars crossed over with Green Lantern and another book. I'm sure there was another. Maybe it was Green Lantern Corps. I think it might have been Green Lantern Corps, Dark Stars, and Green Lantern. I think they were 3 titles at the time. And there was a character. No, Legion. Of course, it was Legion. It was Legion 90 or something like that. Dark Stars and Green Lantern. They all had a crossover. And there was a character from Legion called Bertrand Dib. And I really loved that little guy. Little big guy, really. But he died in one of those books. I'm not sure if I've gone past it already. I'm not sure if it's in the Dark Star one or in the Legion one. It's probably in the Legion book of it, actually. Yeah, he was a really cool guy. He was like a big fella, and his catchphrase was "Don't worry, I'm impervious," and he'd like shield people from danger and death. And his last words before he got blasted into atoms by some beam of immense power were, "Don't worry, I'm impervious." Ah! And that was it. He was dead, and the children he was trying to protect were dead as well. It was just like, wow, man, that's so heavy. That's so wrong and heavy. How could you do that to poor old Bertrand Dibb, who never harmed a blinking hair on anybody's head in his life? The gorgeous little rock creature that he was. But yeah, Trinity. It was called Trinity. Wow, I remember the thing correctly. Look, Trinity. But I went past it. Yeah, there was a couple of... Yeah, I think it crossed over to about 6 issues, Trinity did. Might have even had a little standalone book as well. I'm not too sure now. But yeah, that's my Dark Stars anyway. And Bertrand Dibb, you'll never be forgotten as long as I live, mate. You're a brave rock man, you really were. In fact, let's put it out there. This video is, commemorated in the memory of Bertrand Dibb. Okay, I'll see if I can find a picture of him to put up at the end of the video. Maybe we'll have a minute's silence for Bertrand Dibb, who wasn't quite as impervious as I certainly hoped he was, and he thought that he was. Right, Gotham Central. Last week I went through a few like Gordon's Law and Bullock's Law and GCPD kind of little mini-series, and they must have led up to them finally going, you know what, we're going somewhere quite good with these law in Gotham kind of things, with street level cops dealing with the crazies that Batman can't always be there to deal with, and they decided to make it into an ongoing title. Greg Rucka is the writer. I think he does quite a lot of these kind of crimey, detective-y, kind of hard-boiled kind of stories. Yeah, I think Gotham Central featured a lot to do, obviously, with Gordon. I think it featured Renee Montoya a fair deal, plus her partner, Crispus Allen. Of course, she ended up, a few years later, becoming the Question, taking over from Vic Sage as the Question. And Crispus Allen, unfortunately, was killed, and ended up taking over from Hal Jordan as the Spectre. So yeah, they've had interesting lives and deaths. These characters have. This is an interesting comic cover. Someone's having daydreams of Batman, but it's like it's done in the comic book form. So someone's reading a comic in this comic about someone having a romance with Batman. That's a bit of fun, right? And of course, any Gotham City cop's biggest nightmare, facing the Joker. If that's a bad day on the job, if you're going to a crime scene and you suddenly hear him laughing, that's got to put chills deep into your marrow. If you're just a normal beat cop, that's got to be like, oh my God, if I survive the day, I'm going to be very lucky. I've got to say, if I was a cop in Gotham, not that I would be because I'm a complete coward and not very fit, and I saw Joker, I would not give him a warning. I would not say, your hands in the air, I'm taking you in. I would just put bullets in him. I don't care. It'd be like, you can take my badge from me, whatever. That guy's a complete psycho. I was basically saving my own life by sticking as many bullets in him as I could before he had a chance to outwit me and somehow take me out. Like he tends to do very often. Yeah, that's my advice to all Gotham Police Department people. If you see one of these complete nutters of the Arkham variety who dwell all too readily in your city, put bullets in them quickly. Just for your own self-preservation, really, and to save the lives of potentially many future victims. I mean, there are certain ones who you can try and take in. The Riddler, maybe you could take him in. He's not a complete psychopath. Penguin, yeah, he's a bit of a bad man. But you know, I don't think he's as vindictive, and so you know, he could quite easily kill you, of course. But Catwoman, you can try and take Catwoman in. She wouldn't kill you. She'd leave you scratched like that and whipped. Yeah, you can see that cop. That cop was maybe you should shoot her. Maybe wing her. Maybe put one in her leg. Put one in her leg so she can't beat the crap out of you. That's what I would advise. Right. Quite a long old run, this one. I think it was quite popular at the time, if I recall. I think this Gotham Central did get quite a few plaudits amongst the, the media. Of course, Batman shows up every now and again. Seems to be showing up quite a bit in this little run. Maybe they thought the book was ailing a little bit, so they thought, oh no, what? We'll give him a bit more Batman than we have been, because normally Batman would show up in little cameos. You know, they'd see him in passing. You know, maybe they'd turn up after he'd done his work, or maybe he'd turn up to save the day, or maybe he'd leave a clue for them, or maybe they'd do some detective work for him. That kind of thing was going on. But yeah, it was a cool book with, obviously Batman was featured, but it was more to do with the beat cops and the detectives on the GCPD force. It looks like one of them's come across a downed Robin there. Looks like Tim Drake Robin. All right, nearly at the end of this run. Nearly at the end of this box. Wow, it's been less than an hour for once. That's good. All right. Gotham Central 35. Wanted for murder. That would have been a difficult day on the force, wouldn't it? When you got to take Batman in, or at least try to. And Infinite Crisis is here. Yeah, that's just another bad day on the force. Lots and lots of bad days on the force. And in this one, the Spectre of Death. Is this where Crispus Allen gets killed? You can see like the shadow there. I suppose it could be mistaken for his shadow, but that looks very spectrally to me. It looks like the Spectre's hood, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so that could be where Crispus Allen is killed. Would make sense for this picture, because she's not very happy. So she got a tattoo on her chest. It looks like scarring. Obviously, it's two women. The symbol for female women's. I don't know, women. But like, yeah. So because she is a lesbian, isn't she? So maybe that she's got a tattoo there to sort of show her sexuality. It's a bit of a harsh statement, or is that a necklace? Maybe it's a necklace. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't remember ever seeing a tattoo on her anyway. But yeah, I think she must be really upset, obviously, because her partner, Crispus Allen, is killed. And then she quits the force, by the looks of it. I'm pretty sure she quits the force. And I think that's when she hooks up with Vic Sage. This may be just before 52, maybe 2006. Is this before 52, where she goes with Vic Sage to Namba Parbat and becomes the new Question after he dies of cancer? Could be. Anyway, that's it for this video. Cheers for watching. Now, I've been trying to tag some people in my videos to go and like their channels if you don't already. But I keep forgetting people's names. So let's tag Surf Blue, because I've looked at a couple of his videos lately, and he's a cool dude. And yeah, he shows off lots of stuff like game videos and books, and obviously a few comics every now and again. Keeps teasing though. Keeps teasing. He gets out a box of comics and goes, I'm going to show you these next video. Have a look at some games. Right, so yeah. And who else should I tag? Yeah, let's tag one of the British guys. I'm not tagging the British guys yet. So JPL Flash Comics Geekdom, one of the dynamic duo who does a feed every Tuesday night. So yeah, make sure you check out that feed. It's all cool stuff. And check out his channel. We've got lots of good things on there. Anyway, cheers for watching. And yeah, come back Friday for a look at some of my birthday books.